Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Noble right now. He's playing Scout in ESEA. Let's see how he plays this game. So real quick, you don't really want to be going house for a couple of reasons. You're probably going to eat this same stick as your demo. If their demo is mirroring, it's pretty assumed that he's going to be firing a stick at his mirror. It's just the most consistent first stick that he's going to get, so I'd look to avoid staying with your demo at the beginning of these mids. So if you really want some early point presence, you're better off going through window if your demo's going out of the main entrance, and if you're looking to get some point pressure in your demo's window, you probably look to go this entrance just so you don't eat the same damage. And then obviously if you really want to take some train presence or get a little bit earlier view of Valley, you'd look to go choke, and your main concern there is not getting hit by the second stick of their demo at window. If he does his rollout fast, he's probably going to hit you there and kind of ruin your mid, so you have to delay a little bit for that, or hug the right wall. So just a little bit questionable mid here, and you don't really make any use of getting out of house early. You drop down in the Valley anyway, so you're about the regular time of a scout that did the hoodoo jump or the opad jump, whatever you want to call it. You're not really making use of this point presence, but this is good. You did a lot of damage to the demo, you did a lot of damage to scouts, so now you're taking the pack, so you're making use of that, and this is pretty much a very optimal mid, health-wise. So there's not much more you could have done there aside from hitting more. But yeah, that was just good. So I don't know if your med dropped there. It looks to be that way, so yeah, just worry about capping Spire. And now you just want to get back to your med, get a little bit of health. You guys should probably be climbing since their demo had a lot of time to set up a forward hold. And I imagine your demo is spying that out right now, that you guys are probably going to need to climb. So now that your pocket's dead, you are fucked. Pushing into the lobby. And this guy kind of gets his free suicide, in which he fucked up pretty hard, but really approached from a different angle and jumped a bit better. It would be a bit unfortunate. You'd probably lose someone there. You don't need to fight that guy, or like help that guy. He's not gonna really push. Like, it's really easy for that scout to back up, so he doesn't really need a whole lot of help. So it'd be better to just stick with your demo and make sure nothing rushes him there. Okay. First of all, you're not appreciating the potential for them to push in here enough. So you're not putting your crosshair on the door, which kind of defeats the purpose of being here, because if you're not going to be able to fight it, then you're just waiting to die sometimes. And I wouldn't be walking down these stairs kind of nonchalantly. You should be hugging the wall just so you have a bit extra distance between yourself and the guy that's pushing through. And in general, this kind of behavior of looking to where you want to move and plus +4ing is pretty shitty. There's a couple times where you just weren't looking at this door, your back was to it because you were +forwarding towards your mech instead of backing up towards him. Like right now, this is just silly. It's a really bad habit. You should try to avoid that. Like, the most important thing about Scout is not really like your aim. Well, the most important thing for aim as Scout isn't that you have good reflexes or your tracking is amazing. It's that your crosshair starts in the right place when a fight occurs. So you just have to predict where things are going to come from. So if you're planning on fighting there, or even if you assume that you're going to get pushed in there, you want to be, with all of your movements, just tracking the left side of the door frame, just so you're optimally prepared if someone pushes in. And right now, you guys should be doing some kind of reset push or sack someone in, because right now not a whole lot's going on. I'm gonna probably go over my own demo just to give an idea of what I'm talking about with all these reset pushes, or maybe just go over the map, because I think that's a little bit better than going over a lot of people's demos. So I'm probably going to slow down on these, just a heads up for everyone. And there's no reason not to take that ammo there. You're looking a little low, so just a little minor. And you don't want to peek that without a buff, because if he peeks you at the right time without a buff, you won't even trade with him, and that's miserable. Like that's bad times for everyone. After taking that pack, knowing that you guys are Ubered in, you're not going to be able to do anything on the right side, even if your pocket's cleared it for you right now, or anyone's cleared it for you. You're just not going to get there in time to really be effective, so you probably should have backed up main, where I would assume your medic's leaving, or at least you'll be closer to him for the after push. Don't drop. You just want to do damage from up there. The more height you can kind of maintain, the better it is. It's not really your job as a scout to get on this point. While I would argue it's a bit better in situations where it's even for a scout to get on point, because he's not going to have a lot of damage and not a whole lot of control from up top. And the point caps pretty quickly. When you're at such a big advantage, there's no point in dropping down and going for the point. Like, the soldier can do it and still have pretty much the same damage output. And obviously can control the corners of the point if someone's behind it rushing into him, so it's pretty nice spot for him if it's not getting pressured a lot, not a whole lot of damage coming there. So yeah, this, like, someone else should be spotting that. Like, there should be a scout going valley to spot that, because your team's going valley, I think? Maybe they're going house. No, they're going valley. So that scout should be spotting that. There's no reason for you to do that. Took some unnecessary damage because of it, and you kind of gave up the positional advantage you were kind of choosing by going house. Like, that's the really only thing you get, and you just gave it up by wasting some time. Right now you're not feeling comfortable pushing into them. You want a bigger buff because it's like doing this chip damage isn't really helping when they're already winning this mid so hard. So if you're really looking to push into mid, you want to be able to confidently say, I can kill 2 or 3 people 1v1, because I know their health's going to be poor because they've been moving around. They're not with your med. And this is good, noticing that he went here. Now that you guys pick him, you could look to push house or push through choke, lead it for your soldier, but you should probably be looking to get on their med. This is an opportunity where I think it's slowed down enough that you guys could sack one in and kind of back up and maintain your Uber advantage and kind of get that sack for free. Since they capped pretty slow, you had a pretty easy opportunity to, if you had done it as they started capping, to just be able to hold yard and have that respawner come up for free. So just a missed opportunity there. So your demo died, or your pocket died, which means you're going to Uber into them at choke as solo Uber as a scout, just to spread their Uber around or leave. Looks like you guys are choosing to leave. You want to force them now. Should have just dropped on this med. You're lucky this soldier didn't shoot you because he saw you go there. But yeah, that was good. Now your med's gonna use. I'd be looking to stay in some of that Uber just because. I don't know. He should have been on top of Ubering you there. You should have asked for it. And yeah, probably should have just stayed with the Uber a bit just to make sure you could get those kills. And your pocket should have been controlling last. You guys are gonna lose this round. Kinda sucks. Whatever. So you're going valley this round. Nah, that was just a better rollout. You probably should have pressured underneath a bit since their scouts were shooting at other people while you were looking for things, but that was just fine. And now you have to worry about this soldier right here. He's... I don't even know what that was. Just reload scatter. You can't lose from here if you reload scatter. You're not looking to punish anyone or kill anyone. You're just making sure that you guys are still alive. You don't need to worry about behind you, you just need to worry about valley because the scout backed up valley. There's nothing behind you. Right now, yeah, get on point. You should be looking right bats. Your team can cover this door by themselves. You just need to be worried about pressures. Like, yeah, you could have been dealing with this a bit earlier, and you're fortunate that that soldier didn't hit a rocket on you. So, looks like your pocket died and your med's Ubering alone. So you should be. Huh? He's gonna get away. No, he's not. Yeah, that was just bad on your team. Like, you guys should never push into lobby until you know you're gonna get Spire. You're not gonna be able to do anything from bottom lobby anyway, so getting there early doesn't really help. Even if they're up there, they're gonna shit on you. With or without Uber. So in general, like 90% of the time, it's just best to climb Spire with your med. Yeah, I don't think they should have used there, so I would have been a bit more aggressive in forcing them. Looks like their players didn't communicate to their med that they weren't really going to be able to get anything out of that Uber, so they just wasted it, which is fortunate for you guys. You want to keep pressuring this soldier. The scout's not going to drop off the point, and if he does, you're going to have a pretty easy time fucking with him. And see how this soldier's going to be alone, or maybe there's a demo with him at most. Scouts have this really fortunate time fighting on Great Ridge. There's a lot of things to jump off of, dodge into, and you can potentially get a kill there with not really a whole lot of consequence, because you can always just back up to forward spawn and spawn back. In general, you can kind of exist at forward spawn for a long time until they start coming in, and you're not really doing a disservice to your team there, so just potential for a free pick if you happen to hit the right shots at the right time. Probably should have stayed there a bit longer, but not a big deal. You should look to get on their demo, because I'm pretty sure that he just set up a bunch of sticks and he doesn't have any loaded. Maybe that's your demo. I think he probably could have watched those by himself without really any threat of getting pushed on, so you probably would have been better a bit elsewhere. At this point you want to sack in. You were just in the best position to do it. And since there was no one here, you kind of needed to go in. And right now, you guys aren't looking to do a whole lot. Except they look at you for some reason, and their demo doesn't kill your team, so it works out pretty well. That guy doesn't know what he's doing. But he kills you, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like, you really should have just sacked in there, because your team shouldn't have been able to push off of one person down. Granted they sacked a roamer, which makes their defense a bit worse, but it's just like stickies, dude. You shouldn't be able to get through there, so sacking is probably more appropriate. And then maybe your team could push up a bit off of that, not really committing, just kind of reset pushing off your sack. Keep damaging this soldier. It doesn't matter how much damage you take from him. If you put him low enough, then your team's gonna get this for free. And you have a bunch of bottles to collect on Spire, so it's not really that big of a deal. Interesting. Just let him... yeah, make sure you don't die, which is good. You want to take... okay, I don't think your team properly cleared house. So you want to take that as wide as possible. Someone can be hiding in that little niche behind you or up top on that like hiding spot that everyone loves so much. Just force them. I imagine they're not here without the Ubes. That was good. Probably should have been a little more aggressive on the med, because I wouldn't have assumed someone would make that mistake without a follow-up, so I imagine he was going to hold for a bit longer if you hadn't pressed him. But he just sucked, so I guess it worked out. But yeah, you definitely could have pressured him and forced him for free. But yeah, that was just good. Like, there's not much to pick on there. Like, it was just good.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
You don't need to... he's not going to fight anyone. As soon as he sees someone, he's going to back up. So you should just look to take lobby, and you probably could have gone into last. So I think they would probably still be down a pocket, maybe. Just get in top right connector would have been my idea. Probably overwhelm someone there. And play off their pocket not having heals and being one down. You probably could have pushed into last, but no bigs. So you should go. Your team, that is. You're looking to kill this heavy right now, so I would have taken a bit of this Uber to kind of pressure the heavy. There's a lot of free damage available. Either that or shut out the doors. You didn't really do either, but there wasn't really a need to do either, so yeah. So at this point I'd be looking to get up the right side, just because this demo's been firing from the right and he's not going to get a whole lot done, and their combo was slow and then their scouts were completely on the left. So now you need to work, like, this guy's dead, dude. Just like, I would have switched targets until he was more, like, opportune to kill. And yeah, I think during shooting that soldier you need to be a little more concerned about their scouts, because since they were out of position you can kind of generally know the timing of when they're going to be able to get onto you guys on the right. And a little bit after you put pressure on that soldier, they probably would have been walking up the slope or gone through your closet into you guys, so you want to be really careful about that, because you don't want to be taking a whole lot of damage when you're in the position where you want to be killing everyone. Like, it's different when you're opening it for your team or you're really at a big disadvantage. Like, you can afford to take that damage, because if you lose it's not that big of a deal because you're already losing, and if you're opening it for your team you just need to get as much damage done as possible. But when you're in that really nice situation where you're controlling everything, you don't want to be taking damage for free from their scouts. It's like a general rule of scout. If you can afford to, probably make sure all scouts that are fighting you are at least getting some damage in return from you. So spreading your damage would have been a bit better there for you and probably the rest of your team. Their medic doesn't Uber that guy, so you guys are probably gonna win. But this push was like, you guys pushed for no reason. Now watch the scout under while you're getting healed, because he's the only one that's gonna do anything. And he's gonna kill you when you drop down. Yeah. So when you dropped or looked underneath for a brief moment, you saw a scout there, and you should have just been getting healed and dealing with him at the same time. After doing enough damage, you can feel pretty comfortable that he's not going to be able to push you guys without dying instantly, and at that point you can defend your team. But yeah, that push in general was just shitty, because they really shouldn't have dropped their roamer. Or pocket, I don't know who it was. And at that point you guys have been pretty fucked. Rest in peace, invisible stickies. I think the update may have broken some things, or maybe I'm just really unlucky and I'm getting invisible stickies pretty consistently. So yeah, this is pretty much the position you want to be in. You should be more actively taking buffs and having this scout rotate with you, since he's the kind of guy that fills positions. When you're the guy that fills positions, you have the luxury of having a buff all the time. So he's most concerned with rotating with you, since you're kind of the first away from the max, so just make sure he's on top of that with switching with you all the time. And yeah, I don't know why you guys gave up this forward hold. There's no point in doing that. It's still really fucking good. The only time you want to give up a forward hold is if they push you out. That's about it. There's a lot of opportunity to sack into them for free if you end up getting the Uber, because by the time if it goes really poorly, there's not a whole lot they can do, because by the time they actually get in, you're respawning, basically. It doesn't really matter who does it. I usually do it just because I'm at 300 and I'll be able to get into them, and yeah, it's just not bad. There's not really anything bad about it. As long as the scouts are spotting when they get up Spire, it's really easy timing too. So, bad times are happening because your demo died. But you guys still have the oobs. No, I don't know what you're doing there. You needed to be killing a bunch of things at the end of this Uber, but you just kind of lost track of them or something. or didn't think that that was your job, but you were definitely in charge of shitting on everyone with that Uber, and the rest of your team can defend last and kind of push up with you slowly. But yeah, you're the guy there. And you didn't take that opportunity. I don't like voodoo jumps. A lot of demos will shit on you if you do that. Because it's not that bad to throw a sticky there anyway, because it has the potential to hit a soldier at the same timing. And if a scout's pushing under, he'll kill you. I wouldn't do it that early, at the very least. This mid's over. You should be trying to get your med out. If your mate goes through closet and he doesn't get through clean, then it's GG. So he stays in or he tries to go through closet and it ends up sucking, but that's just a weird mid in general. Like if you're going closet with your team and it's acknowledged, you have to create pressure for them a bit earlier. Why the fuck did this guy take his needles out? That was the stupidest shit I have ever seen. Anyway, yeah. So, what I do when my team's pushing closet is, with the like 20 HP I have still from my buff at spawn, I just jump around the side, exchange a couple shots, and back out. That way I can put some pressure up for free. I know I'm closer to my med, and I'm the only one getting healed anyway, pushing through closet, because everyone's going to be jumping around in the demo if he's there is staying on the ground for the most part. So in that way I maximize the heals, and usually create a shit ton of pressure, because I'll probably damage the scout more than he'll damage me. Just because you kind of catch them as they're jumping up to the crate. It's a nice sight line. But yeah, you just need to create space for your team. Or if you're the guy that's kind of not with them, just put up pressure in other areas. But you just ended up going to them from a really awkward spot. Why didn't this fucker Uber? Are you fucking kidding me? That was crazy. So he drops, which is nice. You guys should be pushing up. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. They don't have a medic. At the very least, you can kind of push pretty aggressively and force them out, or sack someone in, because they're not going to be able to retaliate. But like, shit needed to be done there. Now they're just giving, yeah, like they force you because you gave them the opportunity to push up. Now it's just looking terrible for you guys in a fucking Uber v non-Uber, because you played like the vaginas.
Doc, come on, man.
Wow, that was cool. Fucking, that doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Yeah. That sucked. That was a lot of unfortunate events. Also, you should probably wing her on this point. It's really nice. You can actually hop to like the rim, I think, of the point, and you can also use those circular, I don't know, things on the left to jump up to the second floor. It's really nice. This pistol sucks here anyway. Just a minor thing. You don't want to hit the med there. Well, maybe you did. No, I really think they should have won that. Yeah, I would have probably focused other people rather than the med. You kind of wasted 3 shots on him, which was a bit unfortunate, but, you know, that was good. Like the last in general, but a little bit more optimal not shooting the med there. You want to check drop down a bit more. Yeah. Like, you just can't go for Spire. If your team expects you to do that immediately, then they're just fucking themselves and opening up for a back cap or some pressure. Should leave early to pick up the pack. You don't need to cap this full. Your team is going to be pushing anyway as soon as you get there. And you could be getting healed right now. Okay, I don't know why your team's not doing the bushes. And that guy's rocket trail, he was rocket jumping towards house, so I don't know why you're looking around here. Maybe you didn't see that. But yeah. Even though you guys had like the worst Uber, you still had some health and number advantage. If you'd play that properly. Probably if you got Inspire a bit earlier, it would have been easier to push. So they do like the cardinal mistake of Badlands and pushing flank. Easiest force in the world doesn't really get them anything as long as you spot them early enough. That's funny. So yeah, you're looking pretty good right now. You should probably flank through house, go a patio. This guy can be dealt with by real people. You are not a real person. You don't have health. Other people can jump him. Not your job. I would have been looking to pick off people retreating. Probably your best bet. And you can even be comfortable letting that guy... Okay, not with the guy behind you, but... Yeah, you could have been comfortable letting that guy cap if you killed everyone quickly. Your team, that is. So rest in peace, your med dies. Why does this guy not use the stiggies? Rest in peace, your med dies late. You can't hold lobby. They're gonna take last for free. I don't think their med died when you guys Ubered into them either, so they're gonna have Uber pretty soon. But they are dumb and give up the advantage, so that's good for you. Or maybe they don't have Uber soon. Still should have pushed off your med and having the worst possible spawn in the world. That's interesting. That's a funny looking thing. No point in revving around this corner. It's just gonna make you take more damage. Purple rackets. The fuck is this magic? I don't know anything about the Halloween shit. I don't really participate in those things. I don't know why they just don't interest me that much, but purple rockets are pretty cool. So yeah, if you're going Valley, you want to spot things out a bit. That's good damage on the soldier mid-range, but now you kind of have to do something. Like, I would expect you guys to lose this, so just a bit more pressure earlier there, just from the way the mid was going. Now you want to deal with this soldier a little bit more. Like, if you can stop him while he's in the air, then it's a lot easier for you to deal with that scout, rather than dealing with him first, and then dealing with the soldier when he's already on the ground. That's definitely your best bet. I wouldn't expect you guys to be capping that well, just because the scout was there, and I expect someone to follow up on that, so you probably should have walked out. You definitely would have been there faster. That's kind of like a rule. If it's not for sure a scout, it's not that big of a deal, just walk. Especially if it's not a melee capping, like 75% and they're actively fighting someone, I wouldn't wait for it. So you don't need to worry about flank right now because your team's pushing in a yard. You really should have double taked the patio. Maybe they backed up for some reason, even though they had great position. Well, rest in peace.
Doc, come on, man! Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Yeah, so this shit's shit now. Right. This guy's should be hitting you a lot harder. That was a good fight to take. But your Uber is the worst in the world, and it's sad times for all. They should have it soon. You probably should have finished that guy off, because Maybe he cratered. Yeah, it was him cratering, I guess. So even though they had the biggest advantage in the world, they fucked up. Because they bad. I don't know what that was. Just chill. Don't know why that guy took that fight either. They're gonna have the oops now. Their med didn't die, right? Maybe their med did die. How'd you guys fuck that up then? Yeah, just take it slow. I don't even know. But I'm assuming their med didn't die, just for the sake of you guys not being really bad. So they have the oobs right now. You need to force them. Force them. We're gonna buff and force them. They're alone. It's a soldier, dude. Look at all this ground, like this height advantage and gay, like uneven ground that you can jump around. Just go force them. But I guess I didn't have it, so you guys had like the worst last push in the world. And you probably should still killed them because you ended up Ubering a really shitty spot. Right now you should be looking in front of you because nothing is gonna come from this side. Just counting people. Again, you're like focusing on this heavy when it's not appropriate. Your med's gonna die really late if they're not bad. They're bad. It's fine. But yeah, you really should have dealt with that scout that came through the left. You don't want to give up. Like you're kind of charged with winning that push, so you probably don't want to be in a position where you're sacking, like you're trading for someone. It's not, your team's already like losing, so there's no point in helping other people. So just like play to like 1v1 and then 1v1 and then more 1v1s. Man, I hope Meb isn't their starting soldier. I like he's pretty good aim and he's pretty decent, but I don't think he's the best at roam. And yeah, so you can look to push Valley right now because every team's going in. You just want to be the closest as possible to getting to them, the enemy team that is. So coming through Closet is probably the best way to achieve that. You can see how you just wasted a lot of time here and nothing really got. Oh, hello. That was... I guess they have the Uber, but they were down a lot of people. If you guys were just playing the game properly, that would have gone pretty poorly for them. It's still going pretty poorly. But yeah, you didn't have to lose anyone there. No, I guess your death was necessary. I just don't even know why they were there without backing up afterwards. I don't know why you guys are bleeding either, because you should be looking to push into last. That's, I don't know, a problem. You guys have a lot. You just die when you don't need to, when you're at an advantage. It's pretty bad. This, no one's playing the game, and they're all sitting around waiting, and you get fucked because of that. Now, you can't push in here unless your team opens up for you. 100%, you're just gonna get shit on. Or you have to delay very, very long, like almost until the Uber's over. You're just not gonna be able to get in there. Someone will be shitting on you. Kill this guy. Okay, don't worry about the point. You can get back later. Worry about killing the guy in house. You should kill him. You have a big buff. Your team can push through choke. That scout's there. Choke's easy. Go now. Your team can push through choke. Now there's a soldier there. Choke's really easy. Choke is the easiest thing you've ever fucking seen. Go to choke right now. It's really easy to flood through this choke. Especially if you jump off that barrel there. You're invincible for like 5 seconds. No one can do shit to you. Stop playing on flank. It's useless. This is a roamer's job. If anyone's at all. So this sucks. You're lucky that this guy... That's just very, very fortunate timing. You knew he was going to be there. I don't know why you pushed him. He had the potential to be there, so that was just a big mistake. But yeah, it's just really bad positioning, like use of exploitation of their positioning rather. You don't need to be on flank. Your med's gonna die really late. Oh, that's their med. Woohoo. I don't know how your med lived. That's pretty silly. Okay, you don't want to push that guy. You saw the scout go up balk, or sorry, patio. So pushing this guy makes it easier for the scout to kill you. And since their med's down, you just want to make sure you kill these guys at all. Like that's just your goal. You make sure you kill them. You're trying to kill them fast, like something is important on the line, but it's not, and you're gonna get shit on your med left for some reason. Nobody knows. You're lucky you didn't die. Maybe your med got killed by that scout. I find that hard to believe. Should have been line inciting that. But yeah. Or you should have just backed up, anticipating the scout to push house and kept your advantage there. That was just the worst possible decision, that fight. So, choke's really free, just gotta pick. Stick's just dead, both scouts on flanks. So you guys should push through choke. Common theme. Hello, hello, hello.
Doc, this way.
So this is crap. You're lucky someone doesn't want to force you, because they could easily do so. Looks like the game's over soon. Rest in peace. Maybe you guys win. Easy cap, easy cap. You don't try to Uber, you should have been climbing. The medic, that is. Now you should just look to push in main, because I think you have advantage still? Maybe not. Looks like you're pushing up here. Pyro's gonna air blast you probably if they have one. Bad push area. They get it at the end, or they didn't. Alright. Game just ends. Generally, you don't want to push into last without anything to gain from it. Individually, your mids were a bit questionable. You chose to roll out into areas that favored specific kind of plays, like, you know, going house and controlling point, and then you wouldn't do that, which is silly. And a lot of times you're creating the potential to stack damage with other people at mids, which is bad. And then your target priority is really good sometimes, and sometimes you're way too tunneled. Pushing into last, you don't want to be bottom right unless someone's getting you in or you're waiting a long time, which is kind of baiting your team, so I'd probably push in, you know, connector or main just to get some things done, get behind point or something. And you didn't really do a whole lot because there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to, but generally in fights you made the right decision on when to like all in soldiers, but a lot of the times you had this weird tendency to not really consider where other people are in relation to the fight a couple seconds ahead of time. So just make sure you know what's going to happen like a couple seconds in the future so you can deal with that. There's a lot of times you saw a scout and know the timing of when he can be, where he's going to be, and just didn't seem to care about that, and it cost your team a lot. As far as your team goes, you're Ubering into Ubers, which is stupid, and you're pushing flank, which is stupid, and you're not getting through choke for free, which is pretty stupid. Other than that, not a whole lot of errors. I could mention some really specific things, but they didn't come up in the demo, and I probably do that in my own map review. So, yeah.